I was waiting on my ex-husband to be a bad person. I was truly waiting on him to do something so fucked up to me, so bad, that it would justify me ending the marriage.
Have you noticed that nowadays good men have become targets? Modern women want to destroy perfectly functional households, throw away great husbands, and still play the victim on social media. Pay attention. We're witnessing something disturbing. Women who date decent men and then emotionally destroy them, with no remorse, no guilt, and still celebrating on TikTok. And the worst part, society applauds it.
I was waiting on my ex-husband to be a bad person. I was truly waiting on him to do something so fucked up to me, so bad, that it would justify me ending the marriage. What up, guys? So this is V, and I'm just getting into this whole TikTok thing, social media thing, share my life a little bit, because I know that my journey, my transparency, my authenticity is going to help somebody in a situation that I've overcome. I also said I was going to come out with a book on how to leave a good man. You know, a lot of people that's never been in my situation won't be able to relate. And it's okay, because this message ain't for you. But again, I was waiting on my husband to be a bad person. I stayed with the same person for 21 years, created a family. I was in the relationship 21 years, married 17. And I was married to a good man. I was married to a good guy, but we weren't good together. And being in a relationship where you're just not fulfilled, where you're not happy, but you are with a person that you know is good, and you're hearing the rest of the world talk about how hard it is, how there aren't any good men in the world, it will make you stay longer than you need to. Your soul is yearning for more, right? But you're stuck. And that was me for a very long time. And I had to realize that he doesn't have to be a villain in the story for me to find my happiness. He doesn't have to be a horrible person for me to realize that he is not my person. I did us both a favor. I really did. And this is coming from my heart. And it's hard because who leaves a good man?
This woman spent years waiting for her husband to mess up just so she could justify her desire to leave. That reveals an immature and deeply unfair mentality, turning a good man into a potential villain just to ease her own guilt. When a woman has to invent a reason to abandon someone who treats her well, the problem isn't the lack of wrongdoing, it's a lack of character and gratitude. This mindset destroys homes, children, and the sense of duty. Personal happiness has become the excuse for emotional irresponsibility. The truth is simple. Good men aren't disposable just because the heart wants more. Relationships aren't a spiritual supermarket. This attitude is creating a generation of men who don't want to get married because they're realizing that being good, responsible, and loyal still isn't enough. She didn't do anyone a favor. She just chose the culture of disposability.
There was a creator on here talking about the worst kind of man to date. And those are the men that will literally spend on activities for you both. He will not spend on you unless he's benefiting from it. Please go like her video. I've reposted it. I'm going to tag her because this is the most realest shit I ever heard. I couldn't understand why this type of man irritates me so much because, I mean, he's doing stuff. He's putting in effort. But why the fuck you can't just ever send me my funds for me? Those type of niggas don't really care about you. It's all about the ones that still provide when they're not in your presence. That's a real generous man. Not a man that buys you this, that, and that, and he benefits from it. I'm talking dates. If it's a gift, he benefits from that gift. The biggest example of this is like, if you tell a man, I'm on my period, can you send me some da-da-da, Tylenol, food, flowers, whatever, right? And he says something like, I'll pick you up and I'll take you there. What the fuck if I just want to be by myself right now? I feel like a real generous man, you tell him some shit like, I'm on my period, I need some time, blah, blah, blah. Either DoorDash the shit to you or just send you the money. I'm talking about the ones where every single fucking thing he does for you has to involve him. He's not really doing shit for you for real. And now I figured out why the fuck those type of men irritate me, because they're not truly generous. They're stingy.
This woman doesn't want a partner. She wants an emotional sponsor, a walking ATM. She calls a man generous only if he sends her money without being present. In her mind, a man proves he cares only when he gives financial benefits with nothing in return. That's not generosity. That's exploitation. What irritates women like this isn't male ego, it's masculine boundaries. This type of thinking pushes the idea that a man must pay to exist in the relationship. A traditional man invests time, presence, and protection, not cash transfers. What she calls stingy A mature man calls a healthy relationship because love isn't measured by how much money you spend on someone who lacks values.
I just came to the realization I am going to die alone and it's my fault. So I was chatting with this guy for a little bit. Like we were FaceTiming, we were texting, we were talking. Great guy, super nice, super thoughtful, has a job. Like the bar is so low, but like seriously so nice. Has a job, like taller than me, dark and handsome, right? He sends me a picture of his outfit a couple weeks ago and I never answered. I haven't answered him since because the pants were so tight. Like they were so tight. And hear me out. Like this is definitely something that a girlfriend can fix, right? But before you get to the point of being able to fix that, you just have to live with that. Like I can't just respond to be like, those pants are too tight, you're not allowed to wear that. That's mean. And I'm crossing a boundary. We're not on that level. So before he fixes the pants, like say I were to actually get into a relationship with this man, he has to meet all of my friends and my family with the tight pants. And then like eventually it would get to a point where I could be like, okay, you can't wear these tight pants anymore. But that is not my place right now to be like, you can't wear these tight pants. That's rude. So I'm like, okay, I'm not going to move forward because I can't deal with the tight pants, but that's wrong. But I can't fix that. Boston, what do we do? You're never going to have a daddy.
Here we see the modern culture of superficial hyper standards. The woman admits she's alone, finds a good man, hardworking, present, thoughtful, and throws it all away because of tight pants. She's not looking for companionship. She's looking for instant aesthetic perfection. A traditional woman would talk, guide, build closeness, but today's culture replaces people instead of growing with them. Then they cry, saying, "There are no good men." There are. They just can't see past tiny details. She even admits the problem is her. Modernity created women who want a ready-made prince, but forget that princesses also had to work on their flaws. This mentality creates exactly the future she fears: loneliness caused by triviality.
Women ruin good men, and a lot of people are mad about it. I don't care. I said what I said, and this is my reasoning why. So, in the beginning of y'all's relationship, you reeled them in, taking them to Pound Town all the time. You reeled them in, giving it to him on time all the time. So what did he do? He popped the question, you popped out a couple of kids, and then you said, I'm done. And then the amnesia kicks in. And I swear women have amnesia because they're like, on this app, they're like, well, he didn't do this and he didn't do that. But I guarantee you, in the beginning of the nose, when the nose started in the bedroom and he would come on to you and he'd be like, oh, I'm too tired. He would let it go. He would continue to be the good man that he is. He would still show up for you emotionally, and he would still do all of the things around the house that needed to be done. And then, a couple more weeks went by. No, in the bedroom. I'm too tired. I have a headache. My stomach hurts. Whatever excuse you want to think about in your head that you've said before, insert there, right? Okay, follow along. So now we're on a couple of weeks. Weeks lead into months. Months lead into years. And this man is now mentally checked out. He doesn't give a shit what goes on in the house because he's literally there just running through on autopilot. He wakes up in the morning. He goes to work. He makes the paycheck. He comes home. The bills are paid. The kids are paid. Everybody has a roof over their head. And he repeats. Rinse and repeat every single day. And then you wonder why. Oh my God, my man's been watching porn for months. I had no idea. Well, no shit. He had to outlet himself somewhere else because you stopped. And you say, well, he's not meeting my emotional needs. No, he was meeting your emotional needs way at the beginning when you first started telling him no. But then he felt dirty and emotionally fucked because you kept telling him no when he thought that marrying you meant like marrying the love of his life, getting this access to y'all's intimacy relationship, and you just cut it off. Yeah, he's a little fucked in the head now at this point. Of course he's checked out, Linda. Of course he's checked out. Of course he's watching porn. And then when you want to divorce him, when you decide that you've had enough of this man that isn't helping you around the house anymore, who isn't showing up for you the way that you need him to show up emotionally, you divorce his ass. And guess what? Everybody congratulates you for it. Meanwhile, he's left to pick up all his pieces because we all know who comes out on top in a divorce. And it's us. We do. Almost every single time. Not every time, but most of the time.
This woman finally verbalizes a real phenomenon. Many women offer intense intimacy at the beginning, win the man over, get married, have kids, and then completely shut down sexuality. That destroys a man's self-esteem, emotional health, and sense of worth. A wife who constantly denies intimacy is breaking the unspoken contract of marriage. When he becomes distant, seeks relief elsewhere, or turns into an emotional zombie, everyone points fingers. He changed. No, he was abandoned from the inside. And when he finally gives up, she becomes the official victim, supported by courts, the internet, and divorce friends. A culture that applauds divorce, rewards female irresponsibility, and punishes male loyalty. In the end, a home is destroyed, a man is broken, and society claps